Welcome to Karina Kjeldsen, Senior Program Leader, Hub Integration for APM Terminals. Welcome to TOC Europe. We've brought you here straight from your plenary session. What caught my ear there was you talk about digital twins. Perhaps you can talk a little bit about their application in our industry sector.
Yes. So I think if you've seen the presentation there, we had quite a few things that could be potential applications. I deep dived into two specific applications that we are actually doing. What I was looking at was actually simulation digital twins. So there's a host of different types of digital twins. This one is particularly focused on the simulation. So it's a simulation digital twin, which is basically used for analytical purposes. So it's when you want to gain insights in a safe environment instead of doing it out in the real world, because there's a lot of things that we would like to understand about a terminal, but it takes a really long time to get to the understanding. You can do it in 20 minutes with a digital twin. So it's a lot faster than running for months.
A lot faster, a lot cheaper, and I presume you learn from the mistakes, from the modeling, how to do it ideally.
Yes, and you can say it's also to give insights. So one of our digital twins is, it's the terminal side of a berth plan. So we do a berth plan together with the shipping lines, we create the berthing line up, but that's very much looking from an ocean perspective and then we have a digital twin that simulates, okay, great, that's what we think we want to do. Then we test, how would that actually play out inside the terminal? And then we run that through, and then the terminal can actually upfront see what is likely to happen. Then they can either get feedback to the berth plan and say, we need to change this, we need to change that, or they can go in and actually change something on the terminal, put more equipment on, do housekeeping. But basically, instead of experiencing the problem when it happens, during the operation, they can actually, days in advance, see, I need to do my planning slightly different because there's going to be a problem here. So it's that, upfront insight, a little, I don't want to say crystal ball, but almost kind of.
But all the time, this digitalization of the supply chain, it's honed down into areas where various businesses are specializing. From your perspective, you're looking at optimizing the berth plan. What is the best berth plan from the perspective, for example, of the shipping side and then of the port side? How does that look?
I think that really depends on what is the strategy of those companies. So you can say, I would say the perfect berth plan for a company like Maersk, which has a focus on delivering on the customer, or not on the customer, for the customer, schedule reliability. The best berth plan for them would be looking at those things. There could be other shipping lines where the focus is perhaps more on cost. Then the optimal berth plan for them would be something different. So I think that's really what we're trying to embed into our decision system, is really this thing about, but what is your priorities based on your strategy? What is it that you want us to prioritize as the shipping or as the terminal?
So it sounds like you're harnessing tools such as AI to help you make those decisions, or to give you options which humans can then decide to make decisions about.
Yeah, I think this AI discussion is always difficult. It depends a little bit on how you define AI. If you define AI loosely or broadly, then yes, it is AI. And you say, we actually want to take it a step further than just suggesting. We actually would like to take it to the place where it is the rule. Because what we can ensure is that the shipping line, they're global. We can ensure as a global terminal operator that they get the same treatment in all terminals. So instead of, in southern Spain, you have a collaboration with Oscar, and Oscar does it in one way, and you have one agreement there with your local agency, then that happens in one way, and then you have a different approach in Salalah, where they do something different. This way, we can ensure that we have a global standard and a global way of optimizing and defining what's best.
Well, thank you very much for your time talking to us today at TOC Europe, and wish you all the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.